Hey, what's up, guys? This is the intensification week of the 8s wave. So for the main movement, you're supposed to do 3 sets of 8 with 72.5% of your training max. And the training max is supposed to be lower than the actual max. So for the bench, even though I've hit 300 pounds before, the training max I used for this wave was only 280 pounds. Chad Wesley Smith really advocates doing a lot of work with really submaximal loads. And I gotta say, I'm starting to understand why. I'm getting in a lot of quality work and I'm accumulating a ton of volume, but without feeling so beat up. Now, I don't feel fresh either, but I don't feel as worn down or beat up as I did when I was on the Texas method, where basically week to week I was constantly grinding up against my limits, trying to set PRs all the time. So I think at least for the upper body, all this volume, this method overall is working really well for me. Lower body, however, my right glute got injured the second week of the Juggernaut method. So basically right off the bat. So maybe it was just too much volume for the heavier movements, the squat and the deadlift. Or maybe I was just going too hard on accessory work. Who knows? It's hard to pinpoint it down to one single variable at this point. But either way, I really dig this method, and I will be using elements of it in my next program, or I'll try to find another program that's similar to it. Specifically how it starts with higher reps and then progresses over time to lower reps. I really like that. Dirty Dan commented on my last video and suggested the Average to Savage program by Greg Knuckles. So that's one that I'll keep in my mind once I finish this one and once my glute heals up completely. And for future videos, I think I'll try to write a review for this program once I finish it, as well as the Texas method and some other programs that I've ran in the past. For now, I'm just trying to catch up to where my training actually is in real life so that I can start making more informative videos and not just training ones. The bench press and the overhead press are done on separate days as the main movement. When you look at the program, you'll see that it has a once a week layout for each lift, which is not something that I like. I like at least a 2 times a week frequency. But more is not always better. When I was doing the Texas method, it was a 3 times a week frequency program, and even with the lighter session in the middle, eventually I wasn't recovering well enough, and it was just better that I stayed home on that middle day and rested instead of going into the gym and just to do even light work, which is impeding my recovery. So at this point, I think in my development, I think 2 times a week seems to be the sweet spot. So anyways, you can easily fix that once a week frequency problem that the Juggernaut method, 531, and other similar programs have. You can easily fix that through the programming of the accessory work. So after bench, I'll do dumbbell shoulder press, and then after overhead press, I'll do close grip bench press. So either way, twice a week, I'm doing some sort of horizontal pressing and then some sort of vertical pressing. And the reason why I use variants of the main lift and not the main lift themselves for the accessory work is because as an intermediate, I really want to start incorporating and using variations of the main lift in order to work through some problem areas. When you're a beginner, it's probably better that you just stick to the basic movements as much as possible to get as much practice as you can with those movements. But once you're beyond the beginner phase and have a decent level of technique with the main lifts and it's in your muscle memory well enough, you can start using variations to address weak spots, or to prevent any gaps in your training from opening up. So I like to use dumbbell shoulder press because by sitting down, I'll eliminate any hip drive, and with the dumbbells out to my side, I'll hit the medial delts a little bit more. So it's an accessory exercise that I think will help with the OHP a lot. And I'll have to make another GPP physique update video, but I can already see some improvements in my delts. They've grown a little bit. And the close grip bench allows for more range of motion for the triceps, as well as the chest. So I think it's a great exercise that has a lot of carryover to my main bench. And some people like to do their main bench work with like a close grip. Further out from a meet, they'll use a close grip and then widen it as they get closer to a meet. But for me, I like to stick with my competition style setup year round so that I can always keep it in good practice. And then progress with it and then use the close grip bench as an accessory exercise. So, physically there's some benefits to using variations of the main lift. Your body gets to work through some different ranges of motion and some different angles. But there are some psychological benefits as well. For me, it really helps to prevent things from feeling stale and boring. So, with my programming, I found that I could run the same program month after month with no break and be okay with it and not get bored bored with it. The only thing I had to switch up was the accessory work, and that was more than enough to keep me excited about training. And that was more than enough to just introduce a novelty factor, so that I wouldn't feel any urges to program hop. So you can do things like switch out skull crushes for overhead tricep extensions, switch out Romanian deadlifts for stiff-legged deadlifts, do incline dumbbell curls instead of preacher curls, that kind of stuff. Just whatever you do, just don't ever do curls in the squat rack. I pray to Buddha every single day to destroy people who curl in the squat rack. So if you don't want to be destroyed, then just don't do it. Don't even think about it, man. I'm not kidding. Anyways, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys got something useful out of it. I'll talk to you guys later, and until next time, have some goddamn respect and put your goddamn weights away.